Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of the EVH Wolfgang refinish I'm doing. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, you probably want to go check that out.
In part 1 of this mini-series, I got the guitar unboxed. The guitar is an EVH Wolfgang standard. It came in sparkly silver. Then disassembled it, sanded it down. Then we brought it out to the spray booth and sprayed the first color onto it, black. This blue and purple Wolfgang is one I did a couple years ago, and it's for the same owner, so we're going to be doing a similar paint job. We're going to be doing the black stripes just like this one has, but we're going to replace the purple with green and replace the blue with yellow. So these colors here with the EVH stripes pattern. Of course, we'll be doing a super high gloss clear like this guitar has.
At this point, the guitar is painted up with the first color. So I did all the prep and all that stuff in part 1, and today we're going to be drilling it out and adding a cavity in the back for a kill switch. We're going to be adding a kill switch where there is no cavity yet. So we're going to be using the router and adding a cavity to the back of the guitar. And if time permits, we're going to get it prepped for paint and add some taped stripes so that when we bring it into the paint booth, we could spray on the next colors, green and yellow. They're going to be a burst. So green on the edges, yellow in the center. I call it lizard burst. I did it on an LTD in the past. We're going to be doing those colors together, but with black stripes. So the guitar is painted black right now, which is going to be the stripes. And when we add the tape, that's going to mask off the black. So when we paint that green and yellow, it's going to maintain black that's already painted on there. I should have already done the kill switch prep, but I was excited to get started on this guitar, and it's something I need to get better at, is prepping all the steps of the guitar before I start painting. Because there's a chance that I could chip or scratch the black paint today that I did on the last episode. So in the future, and if you guys have projects, I need to make sure that I remember to do all my prep work before we start painting. But let's go ahead and jump on in.
As I mentioned before, this is the current state of the project. It has been painted gloss black, headstock and body, and the next step will be to start prepping it for the kill switch. The first step in adding this kill switch hole will be to add some tape onto the guitar so I can mark where the hole is going to go, and also I'll be putting some tape on to protect the current finish. Since I plan on keeping this black paint on the guitar, I want to keep it protected as the router slides across the surface of the guitar. It could put some small scratches on it. The location isn't very specific. I do have a guideline that it goes about in the middle between the pickup and the side of the guitar, and an equal distance down from the horn cutaway. So I marked my dot where it's going to go, and then I use my template here that I'm going to route into the back of the guitar so I can make sure that it's not going to be too close to the edges of the guitar. I'll be drilling a hole straight through the guitar right here, so I'll add some crosshairs to make sure that I get it nice and centered. This is really cool. My son wanted to watch me drill this hole. He's interested in tools and guitars, so I put him up on a stepladder, and you can kind of see him in the background with his green shirt standing there. He's also got safety glasses on, so he's nice and safe, and a couple feet away, so he's at a safe distance. But he was interested, and I love showing him what I'm doing when I'm working on guitars. He's 4 years old now. This hole took about 2 minutes to drill all the way through because, as you can see, I'm going in and then backing out and clearing the hole and drilling it at a slow pace. So it took about 2 minutes to drill all the way through. The front of the hole looks really nice. The back did break through and chip the paint out a little bit, but I'm going to be routing this out a lot bigger afterwards, so that's no problem at all. And for reference here, I'm going to drop in the Tessie kill switch so we can see what it's going to look like and how it fits. Perfect fit. Now over on the back, you can see where it's chipped out and everything, but like I said, I'm going to use this hole right here to route out the cavity. So that's how big the cavity will be in there, so I can run the wires over to the kill switch. The inner circle here is what we're going to be routing out for the cavity itself, and then the larger circle will be to make a small recessed shelf for a cover to fit on. Here I'm using some calipers to measure the total thickness of the body, and I'll make some notes about that. And then over on the drill press, I'm going to set the depth so that it only cuts down exactly how deep I want it to, so it's not going to go through the front of the guitar. I'm going to be using this drill press to drill down and clear out some of the material because the router is a pretty crazy tool. It's loud and messy, and the drill press is a bit safer to use. The drill press is very easy, so I can use the same bit that I drilled out the initial kill switch hole with. It may be a little ugly, but we're going to clean that up with the router right now. This is what we were left with after using the drill press. I'm using double-sided tape to attach the template on, and the template will guide the router, so it'll just cut out what's in this circle here. I would normally go outside to use the router because it's messy, but as you can see, I've got a vacuum hose running over that's going to be sucking up some of the dust, and since I already used the drill press to remove about 80% of the material, I'm just running this inside. Now I've switched the template around so the larger hole is attached on the guitar side, and I'm using a piece of wood as a spacer so that I can get the ball bearing from my router bit to line up with the template and trace on this circle. And this is how it turned out. Looks really good, nice and clean, perfect circle, works every time. Now the last step is to add a hole from the control cavity over to the new kill switch cavity using a really long drill bit. This thing is like 16 inches long. You need a real long drill bit so that you can get the correct angle to go across the two cavities without the drill itself hitting the guitar body. After pulling the tape, this is what we're left with, and it looks really clean. I'm happy with this. The front looks great as well. I gave it a light sanding, and you can see the little pits in the paint job. I don't think this black turned out that great, so I gave the guitar a light sanding, brought it back to the spray booth, and shot a couple more coats of black on it. Now this thing looks super sharp, super good. The next step, in about a week or two, will be to light sand the whole guitar again, then tape it up with the stripe pattern that I'm going to be putting on this guitar, and adding the green and yellow. So stay tuned for the next episode. It'll probably be out in a couple weeks. And be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified when new episodes come out. We have a full episode of Trash to Thrash coming Monday, February 10th, featuring an LTD AX50, which is a really cool thrash metal guitar. We did a bunch of really cool mods to it, including a splatter paint job, so be sure to come back and see it then. Thanks for watching, everybody. Rock on, my friends.